Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Okay, we're going to go for double trouble here. We've stacked the other two up now that we know that the circle is at least pretty right. Okay, let's get going. Well, not at that speed, I'm afraid. Let's speed her up a bit. Something like that. That sounds better. Oh. Okay, so we got this thing jumping around. What we're going to do is put a couple clamps on it. Oops. That's better. That'll hold everybody in place. Yeah. Straight up and down. Ready to rip. We're going to go ahead and drill our second hole while we're here. Maybe we're not. Oh, let's see if we can get this down a little bit more. There we go. Alrighty. We're going to go to 72 degrees, which would be right in that general area. '71, '72. I'm going to get a flashlight because I can't see anymore. Just a little bit further. I know, I got my head in the way. Lock her down, and let's go for the second hole. Okay, we did it. Now what we want to do is check and see if it fits, for one, because we may need to go to that next size bigger. And we'll go from there. Collier here again, and I don't know if you can tell, but winter is on its way. This is the middle of October, and this guy dropped off his project. Oh, by the way, I got one of those Keith Fenner numbers. Oh, it's pretty cool. You know, for straightening axles and stuff. Anyhow, this project began last July, and the guy kind of stalled and stalled. He really didn't know what he wanted. He knew the general idea, but no specifics. So I had to kind of walk him through the process, and you know, I give him a call, and he'd call me back 4 or 5 days later. And then I'd send him an email, and he'd send me an email back 4 or 5 days later, and this went on for 4 months. And he just called me the other day and says, "Oh, well, okay, that's enough. We're not going to do anymore." It's like, we haven't even cut the axle yet. But, you know, I think he ran out of money. So we got a little ways. And as you saw, we cut the plates, and we cut the hub, and that's pretty much it. And tried to kind of come up with concepts for him. And, you know, this is it. He's pulling the plug on this project. So, you know, there you go. We're off and doing other stuff. This is Nick Collier, checking. Okay, today we're not at the shop. My wife has kidnapped me and taken me to Mendocino. Somebody help, please! And set me up next to this ugly ass ocean. And what the hell am I doing here, and why am I here? Okay, I'm relaxing a little bit. I've just started relaxing just a little, and okay, it probably feels a little better. But I can't wait to get back to my shop. Okay, bye. Okay, well, Nick Collier here again, and well, okay, we're back on the hub project. The guy called me a couple of weeks ago, and he said, "Oh, stop! I haven't got any more money." So okay, fine, I stopped. Then he calls me a week later and says, "Well, okay, let's move forward." So, you know, all right, let's move forward. And I was doing some other things for about a week, and so here we are back at the hub project. And let's see what we have to do. And there's not too much left to do to get this thing all set up. So basically, the hub is here. He wants this part to attach to the frame, and then of course this part will spin, and this wants to go on the hub here. And I'm guessing, well, that's all I can do is guess, because I can't figure out what this guy wants, is we're gonna take and make some new studs, and he wants 3/4 of an inch in between each one of these discs. So we're going to make some fairly long studs, well, not as long as this, but as long as this, and put the plates on and allow some room in between the plates, and then set up so that the studs will grip the plates. And then at the same time, what he wants to do is to make an axle that's going to go through here and bolt to the front side and allow this part to ride free. So that's pretty simple. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to start with the axle. Before he calls me again and says, "Stop!" So we've got ourselves a piece of 8620, or was it 4140? Anyhow, it's hard material, and it'll make good axle material. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we're going to start out in 3-jaw. And this axle really needs to be concentric with both ends. So I think what we're going to have to do is reverse it a couple of times in order to get it to lock in. And I think it's going to go all the way back. Maybe not. No, it's not. Alright, so we're going to have to work from this point and put a steady rest. Alright, well, this is the first opportunity I've had to use the steady rest, so I'm excited about that. And the one thing I see that I pretty much screwed up on, but you know, it's not too bad, is I've got the wheels on the wrong side. They should have been over here and kind of out there. But, you know, it's still going to be okay. And at some point or another, I'm going to come in. I'll come in and cut a V, another V over here, so that I can flip the thing around. But that's not today. So for right now, let's get this thing set up. Okay, so we're going to turn this around and put the 4-jaw in and get it squared up on the 4-jaw, and then do the other side. Okay, so we measured our hub and it's 5/860. So we're sitting right in here approximately. And we have to put a washer on one end. So it's about right there. And we'll get a more accurate measurement later, but for right now we got to move the steady rest down just a little bit. say someplace right in here would be good. Let's get it as close as we can. Yeah, that's gonna work. All right. Well, actually, now that I'm thinking of it, well, no, we're going to need the steady rest. This thing's going to vibrate a hell of a lot. So we're going to put the center in and the steady rest on, and then we'll have plenty of support. Get the center in. Now first let's get this back where we can get to it. And we're about right there. Put a little high pressure grease in there. There we go. Maybe, so that's good. And obviously we're cutting really inconsistently, so I'm going to take the steady rest loose and just see if possibly it's not aligned properly. Okay, we're at 750.62, and this side is a good 5 thousandths under, maybe even more, maybe 10. 752. Yep, 10 thousandths under. Okay, so that means we need to come that way 10 thousandths. We can turn that off for now. Bring this on over. Okay, bring our dial in so we can see the 0. Loosen up our something and adjust it. So we need to go that way 10. All right. Let's see what that does. All right, what do we got? We're sitting at 684. $686. Okay, we're 2 thousandths. We're getting closer. All right, let's try this again. Okay, let's check it. See what we got. And we're at about 15.8. 15 and 8, or what's our total number? 650, 65 and 8/10. And in this case, none of that matters except for the 8/10. And we are at 65 and, well, we're at 66, but it's a little bit loose. .65 and maybe 9/10. Okay, I think that's close enough. Now we're squared up and we're all set to go. So now we got to come up with a circumference or a diameter. We've got 1,275. 1,275, huh? Let's write that down. 1,275. So we got a ways to go. 275, and we're up here at 700. So we've got about half an inch to go. A quarter inch on each side. That's not too bad. 250. Okay, so we brought it down to within about 25 of our finish. And now what we're going to do is go ahead and take this thing apart and turn it around and do the rough out the other side, just because I don't want to put a new bit in and then destroy it. All right, so let's just go ahead and take this apart. Swing it around. And we want to get her centered up, so we'll go ahead and tighten everything up a little bit. On the money. All right, but we haven't tightened everything up yet, so want to do that. Well, that even brought it in tighter. All right, we're good. And he wanted about 16 inches between hubs, and boy, we are sitting right at 16, but we're going to be a little bit shorter because we have to come in this far. And how was that far? I can't remember.